Good afternoon, 6-4 parents. Mr. Hagedorn here with our weekly update. Another reminder, Monday, June 26th will be our award ceremony as well as our kind of community engagement. We'll invite parents in and do some fun activities with you guys. All right, that'll be from 8:15 to 10:30 again on Monday, June 26th. Everything next week is pretty normal, a normal 5-day week. All right, in Math 6 next week, we're going to be continuing with our data and statistics unit. We're going to start talking about histograms, and then we're going to talk about mean and median and when those are a good way to describe a set of data. In Math 6 Plus, we're going to talk about a box plot on Monday, and then we're going to do our study guide and quiz Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll then move on to our last 7th grade unit, which is going to be multiplying and dividing negative numbers. Right? Have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday.
Good afternoon, 6-4 parents. So on my agenda for next week will be our final week doing literacy circles. We will have a novel assessment on Friday. Our book logs are due on Wednesday. And after that, we will move on to nonfiction, poetry, and fiction. Our EOG for ELA is exactly 4 weeks from today on June 16th. That is a Friday. So please just make sure when that time comes around that everybody is here on June 16th. We do have 2 quizzes that are graded in ELA. A couple students have missed them. I am going to work with my team on getting the link because the link has expired. So I will work on getting the quizzes. And if you do have questions about ELA, please email me. My email is rchase, it's RCHASE at WCPS. And yes, you can reach out to me if you have any questions.
All right, 6-4 families. This week we wrapped up flower parts, then we got to pollination and fertilization, and then we got to plant survival techniques with dormancy and tropism, and then we were working on the Hunger Games. So the students either worked on them with themselves or they were with a partner and they built what they thought was a super plant. They picked 7 different traits. They wrote why they selected these traits. They made a visual of these traits. And on Monday, they're going to be put in the arena, and we're going to see through a series of brackets which plant will be victorious or the super plant in each class. So I'm looking forward to seeing what traits prevail, what makes it a super plant. After that, we are moving on to space. Kids are excited about this. We're moving on to space on Wednesday. It's our final unit of 6th grade, which you can see the year's coming to an end. We will start with the patterns that are predictable caused by the sun, moon, and earth, their relative position and motion. Looking forward to getting that started. So hopefully the weekend's not wet like today started off to be.
Weekends are always wet. All right, friends, let's talk social studies for just a second. First announcement I have for social studies is that we are going to be moving on into Canvas in social studies for the rest of this year. You may or may not know that Google Classroom is being kind of blocked or we're not allowed to use it starting next school year. And I've been using Google Classroom since the beginning of the year. Most teachers have been. And I'm starting to learn how to use this new Canvas tool a little bit better. And so I've decided that my last unit, which is the unit on the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, and the Reformation, I'm going to use 100% Canvas as kind of a practice for me to get used to it and students to get used to using it because they're going to be forced to use it next year for all of their classes. So our unit on the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, and the Reformation started officially yesterday. We got going with it yesterday and started talking a little bit about the fall of Rome in Europe and how that leads into this time called the Middle Ages, and we'll be spending some time with the Middle Ages for the next few days. We talked a little bit about Charlemagne, and we'll continue talking about early Middle Ages next week. And as we get finished with that, we'll start moving on into later Middle Ages and what the Middle Ages are all about, and then how the Middle Ages ends and into the Renaissance and the Reformation. We get to talk Ninja Turtles. We get to talk about Martin Luther. Lots of interesting things coming as we finish out the year of social studies. So that's what we're working on. As Ms. Chase said, we're finding that Miss West is officially named as the language arts teacher. She's our academically gifted teacher, but for whatever reason, she's not really involved in any of the planning or the grading of our students. So if you have questions about language arts, we're going to ask you to talk to Ms. Chase or to one of us on team, Mr. Hagedorn or Mr. O or me, and we'll do our best to figure out the answer. We might not have it for you right away, but we'll do our best to find the answer. So if you see West on anything, ignore it. Come to the Owls, talk to Miss Chase, talk to me, and we'll hopefully get your answer done.